Check the property line? Okay. Back when I was responsible for garden and grounds related issues for a housing developer, Susan popped her head over her neighboring property's fence. Susan was abrupt and rude, but not quite to Karen level. So, Susan, it is. Are you going to cut back all of these weeds growing over to my side of the fence? Single quote. Yes, I have to recalm this public footpath and those same weeds are on council. Local authority. Land, but will also be causing me problems if I don't deal with it. I'm actually here to do that now. Because it's your company, land, and I expect it to be cut all the way around. Motions to all three sides of her white long garden fence. Look, it's all growing over into my garden and it's not been dealt with since. Your company bought the land. That's actually why I've been hired full-time. I'm not part of the development crew. I'm here to maintain areas and deal with issues like this. Today I can clear the ivy from your fence, but that triangle of wilderness between ours and the council will have to be next week sometime. You'll be cutting down on the other side? Motions to where I can't see due to the triangle of wilderness. Single quote. Actually no. That side is between you and the council. That school on the other side doesn't open for another year, so I suggest not waiting until then to contact them. Well, what am I supposed to do? Single quote. I'm happy to pull down the ivy for you this once and poison along the fence line. It'll do you for now. The company I work for is trying to improve relations. And as I've stated, I'll take care of this one side indefinitely. I need you to prove you aren't responsible for that side too. The next day I consult my drawing map of the grounds and property line. Turns out I was wrongly informed. My manager expressly forbids me from tackling anything remotely near her fence line. Are you back to cut down this area? Single quote. I'm glad you're here. Shows drawing. This is the area in question and it's all council property. The yellow line is where my responsibility ends. Susan never had anyone cut down the vegetation. Ivy, bramble and nettles absolutely ate her fences over the next 3 years, and last time I checked they were replaced a meter inside the property line. Demi Karen pushes her luck and ends up losing free maintenance along her fence line. She did once ask me to put lots of poison on the offending weeds, but all I could offer her was a normal spray that my company provides if she called. I said they might offer it for the same nominal price I would do a driveway for, but she never called. Silly Susan. As a Susan, I am absolutely amused by this use of my name. Lol. Sounds like she was a lazy Susan. Susan got exactly the amount of service she paid for, and deserved, which was nothing. Whenever I hear property line, I think about the first house I bought. It's a long, convoluted story, but the basic points are: 1. The previous owner of my property put up a retaining wall and made a corner of the driveway into what technically is the neighbor's property. Point 2. Realizing this, when I wanted to pave my driveway, I proposed a win-win situation with my neighbor, arguably favoring him very much. He agreed. Point 3. Permits submitted. Contractor locked in on work. I began my portion of work for this agreement. 4. 5 days before work to be done, neighbor said he can't accept the deal. I said, be careful. I had this surveyed. And yes, my driveway does slope into your property, but your driveway slopes into mine at the other end by the road. He said BS. 5. I readjust my permit and contract to pave exactly where I can along my property, which is nearly all of his current driveway. 6. He loses it. He has no access to his house, as besides his driveway, there's no access through the roughly 50-yard span between the road and his house. I really don't like it when I try to go out of my way to make a difficult situation a good one, and get stabbed in the back. I still believe in the honor of a man's handshake. And he let me sweat and spend money beginning my part of the deal. Enjoy your 50-yard trips through swamp. And parking on the road, you clown. My dad worked gardening and ran into this silly leeches several times. He always made sure the owner told him exactly where the property line was. And would say, sorry, he was only responsible up to here. But if you want him to work on your property, here's his card. Lived in a condo that butted up against college property. The new HMFIC in the Homeowners Association decides to do some digging on the property lines, and a group of trees that needs trimming finds out the trees in our condo owner's fence are 100ft inside the college property and demands the college trim them. Threatens to sue and post on internet. The college does the legwork and decides he is right and the trees need to be trimmed. So they trim them down to the ground, remove the fence, and now are planning to build 3 7-story dormitories on the newfound, discovered property grounds. On a positive note, at least they are to the north of the condos and will not block the sun on our 2 stories. Careful what you ask for. You may get it. You should have put some spray on it. I suggest one of water and fertilizer, just to help her out. Tip I learned from my in-laws. If someone is doing maintenance and you'd like them to extend the work to benefit you, you start off offering them a drink. A cup of coffee in the morning does wonders for having them care just a little more about the quality of the work. Then, to do slightly more than they technically should, you offer some money under the table. You can usually get it done for way cheaper if they are doing similar work anyway. Most of all, be the person that clearly won't contact their manager. Because for those people no rules will be broken. Even works on the neighbors. If you want the shared fence painted, we can either agree on the color for me to pay half, or you choose anything neutral. Make sure my side looks decent too, and take these beers. They did it for free and I don't have to sit down and decide on something I really don't care about. Susan's bush got neglected. I do IPM in turf grass, and the amount of people that think I will put extra down if they complain is definitely gonna cause a brain bleed. Every now and then I pull out the glyphosate for Dallas grass MC. Was it just me? I finished reading and didn't understand it. You've got a rather peculiar writing style. It feels like, hey, I'm Dr. Professor M. O'Reilly, writing about my neighbor Ms. S. Doofus. I have never dealt with a tradie that talks like this. Gah, poison. Just get it done, Susan. You lazy cow. There's no need to murder frogs and die of cancer. You should burn some stuff too. Show climate change who's boss.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.